Welcome to the show. I'm Ibrahim Sani, your host. In this very special episode, we are currently at the Park Hyatt Kuala Lumpur at Merdeka 118, arguably the tallest and the highest luxury hotel here in the center of Kuala Lumpur. I'll be speaking with Herman Kemp, the General Manager of Park Hyatt Kuala Lumpur, about what the hotel offers for guests in and around the world, and perhaps try to explore a little bit better in terms of what the offerings could be during the festive season right now, during Christmas, and of course New Year. Enjoy the conversation. Congratulations on the launch, and it's been 3 months, but of course, even in that short 3 months, there's a lot of things that has happened in Kuala Lumpur and therefore with Park Hyatt. Talk through us through the opening and until right now, how has Park Hyatt been faring?
Absolutely. So we opened up the 7th of August, right? So we opened this up the 7th of August until now, so that's about 3 months so far. And so far, so good. Of course, any opening comes with its challenges. We have to take a look how we operate. We have to take a look if our operations is going smoothly. There's always things to tweak, especially in the beginning. I do feel that now that we've had some very good tests in the past couple of months, and we've gone through them quite well, and we're heading in the right direction.
Sorry, I just have to ask you.
Sure.
How does one open a hotel like Park Hyatt? I mean, are the crew trained? Are they from somewhere and then you import them in, or are they also fresh? How does that talk to us through the inside of the hotel?
Combination. So we do have some fresh new hires as well, of course, or fresh in the industry, coming from interns who just graduated, for example, who's starting their first job, but those are limited in numbers to start with. So most of the team that is on board are more seasoned, are coming from the industry itself. Take note that over 90% of our team is Malaysian, and we only have 6 or 7 expats on board actually at the moment, and the rest is all Malaysian. So from the 380 people that we are hiring are all Malaysian.
So you open the hotel, you know everything is supposed to be there, and there's some teething issues as per normal. You open anything, there's going to be some issues, and I'm pretty confident that you're resolving those issues, but at the same time you're also training people. There is a lot on your shoulders, especially carrying the Park Hyatt brand, being the flagship, I guess, portfolio of all the Hyatt portfolios. Does that pressure, I don't know, get interesting throughout this particular tenureship of being a DGM?
Luckily, it's not only on my shoulders, right? It is on my shoulders, of course, but luckily we have a very strong leadership team on board as well, which we have selected to open this property. And of all the leadership team members, all seasoned veterans. More than half are also seasoned with Hyatt, so with over 10-15 years experience with Hyatt, so that helps a lot as well. Also putting together a very comprehensive training program. During our opening period, prior to that, we also have trial runs. During the trial runs, we actually test every single room, and we actually test our systems as well. So we invite Hyatt colleagues from the region, from the country, from Malaysia, to visit our food and beverage outlets.
That must be fun, being criticized by your own colleagues.
Absolutely. I don't think it's critique. I'm not sure if it's critique, right? I think it's good feedback to have. It's good feedback to have, and that's the only way how we can learn.
Yes.
That's the only way we can learn.
And they mean well, I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely.
And they want to raise the bar even higher.
Absolutely.
So there's a few questions I want to get through with you. The first is, why does Park Hyatt choose Kuala Lumpur as the next property to open, and why is it here in Merdeka 118?
So it's not really a choice from only Hyatt. I think it's a combination, right? So P&B, who's the owning company of Merdeka 118, who is the owning company of the hotel as well, they had a selection procedure who they would like to have as their operator, and Hyatt pitched the best story. and Park Hyatt pitched the best story. So we came to an agreement that there would be a cooperation between P&B and Hyatt International, and the brand that was chosen was Park Hyatt. Of course, because of Merdeka 118 being such an icon, being such a culturally significant building, we also wanted to make sure that the hotel choice selected in there was our most luxurious brand.
And of course, the segment that you're focusing, I presume it would be luxury segment, business traveler. How do you view market segments, and which area of concern that you want to market yourself to?
So definitely the luxury segment, and definitely corporate business as well. The higher end corporate business coming in, there is a good mix coming in into Kuala Lumpur in general, right? Because Kuala Lumpur being the capital of Malaysia, also connectivity here as a connectivity hub, Kuala Lumpur is excellent. So we can see that there's a lot of luxury travel coming in, and a lot of corporate travel coming in. If you take a look at the regions where it's coming from, Singapore is very, very strong. Other Southeast Asian countries such as Thailand, Taiwan, and also with the work that Malaysia has been doing in the past years with regards to visa-free waivers from China, from Taiwan, but also recently from India, right? That helps the tourism industry coming in as well. And there is a luxury niche market in all of these markets.
The luxury space is, of course, a very unique space. You can't, well, we can't actually equate, say, for instance, regular hotels with the luxury space. But in this area that you are in and you're operating in, there's only a few competitors that will rival, I guess, your brand. So how do you differentiate yourself from one particular property over the next, considering that these are very highly discerning individuals with high taste, and they have a specific idea of what they expect? It's a pretty competitive space, no?
It's a very competitive space, but it's also a very niche space, right? And I think the key thing there is what kind of service you deliver, what kind of personalized service you deliver, what kind of service touches you have, and how you distinct yourself with your product and combination of services provided.
So now that it's the Christmas season, and of course with New Year's around the corner, a lot of guests are looking at some options in terms of how they're going to celebrate both Christmas and New Year's. What would be some of the Park Hyatt offerings that you can share with us today?
Well, this is going to be our first, right? So we're looking forward to come in with a bang. Right, so we do have a very bespoke, unique offering going on. We have our signature restaurant, Merdeka Grill, which will be serving a set menu, 6 and 7 course for Christmas Eve, as well as a set menu for New Year's Eve as well. Then we have our Park Lounge, which is more family orientated. So we have family activities and children's activities going on as well. And that is going to be a Christmas Eve and Christmas Day brunch. So that will be our offerings in terms of food. Then we have cacao, we will be having our New Year's Eve offering. We will have a New Year's Eve party as well. We'll be opening till early in the morning, which will be a fantastic event as well, where of course you will have the best views of all the fireworks.
I bet. Even right now, as we look outside, the view is going to be stunning. We have a clear view of the KL Tower, KLCC. I mean, it's just going to be stunning.
So on a clear day, you can see Genting from here as well, which is very fantastic.
Let's also talk about how things have been since opening until Christmas. You know, for somebody like me, I probably go through some sort of anxiety dealing with a lot of these guests, high-profile moments. But at the same time, for Park Hyatt, this is your everyday thing. During ASEAN, I'm pretty sure it was pretty hectic for you as well. I think the US delegation was here. Maybe you can share with us what was the situation at Park Hyatt, and how did you entertain the guests then?
Well, ASEAN, of course, was a big event here in KL and big in Malaysia. I do think that how Malaysia set that up was very, very well done. It was an excellent event and had a lot of benefits for a lot of hotels in KL. We were lucky enough, indeed, to get part of the US delegation, which is fantastic.
Trump didn't stay here?
No, Trump did not stay here. So we did do very well during that time period, and it's about liaising with the different parties, making sure that all arrangements are done. There's a lot of added security measures, of course, when it comes to delegates, whichever delegates you may have, and as well as a lot of extra arrangements and last-minute requests which we have to deal with.
Yeah, I'm very sure that's not easy and not fun, I guess, to deal with these.
It's not easy. It is fun. So there is a difference. I do think that there's a difference there. It is a lot of fun dealing with high-profile guests, dealing with delegates and things like that, because it gives our team a challenge as well. And I do think that how we performed during that time, we passed with flying colors.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, is it fair for me to say this? If you hear nothing in the media regarding your service, that's actually quite awesome. Is that a fair kind of way to look at things?
That is in partly fair, but what we appreciate even more is that we've gotten several written compliments with regards to our performance during ASEAN, but also the feedback that we've gotten from the market has been exceptionally good during that period.
But then that comes hand in hand with Park Hyatt, which brings me to the man running the show. I'm sure there's no school of GM for Park Hyatt that exists on the planet. So what does it take for one to be a GM? Tell us about your career.
Well, there's no school for a Park Hyatt GM, of course. There is luckily several great hotel management schools around the world. I'm half Dutch, half Indonesian, and I was lucky enough to go to a hotel management school in The Hague in the Netherlands, where I had a great education, and that's where my career started, right? So my interest for hospitality has always been there. My father owned several restaurants, was always in hospitality, worked for the cruise ships for 20, 30 plus years. So has always been around hospitality.
So it's in your blood, I suppose.
I guess it's in my blood, yes. And then becoming a GM, and after that, I think growing as a GM comes with experience, right? You learn from your mistakes, and you will make mistakes. The key thing is how do you learn from it, and how do you grow from that?
That's the key part here. You need to grow, you need to learn, but at this stage in your career, you need to also share and coach and inspire. Do you think that the younger generation of today has what it takes to be in the hospitality business? You know, we always complain. I'm a parent. We always complain. Oh, kids these days are like this. They're not during my time. We used to say those kind of things. But how does it translate into the business of hospitality, where you got to think about the customer first before anything else?
Well, definitely in this generation, I'm sure there's going to be excellent general managers and excellent hospitality experts around, right? I do think, though, that the market has changed a lot. Education has changed a lot, and the mindset of the younger generation is very different than what was in my time or in our time, right? So I do think that the main thing now is that we will have to adapt to and be able to pivot to what is relevant now. And what is relevant now may not be what was relevant 10 years ago or 15 years ago.
So it's also folks like you needs to be open-minded and open to new ideas, because
absolutely,
you know, you were brought up in a different generation, I suppose, and the younger generation, your younger colleagues today might have a different take on things, and you might want to approach it that way.
Absolutely, absolutely. We nowadays, you know, we have to work with ChatGPT and things like that.
Yeah. And
even a couple of years ago, we didn't know what that was, right?
So, but sometimes you need the personalized note, right, from the GM.
Absolutely, and we still do.
If I pay that kind of amount, I expect that kind of service. Nothing makes my day more than a simple card that says, "Hey, Ibrahim, welcome to we wish you a pleasant stay. Sign the GM." That's enough.
So for all my VIPs, I still write them all by hand. in gold
and no amount of ChatGPT can.
And in gold color gold color pen.
Yes, and I don't know if your guests tell you this, but at least for me, I appreciate that, because at least so you know I'm okay. You know, that whole idea of safety is there. Because of your European heritage and because of your Nusantara heritage, it's also quite interesting to see these two worlds meld into one. Do you think that Southeast Asia is the place to be for the years to come when it comes to travel, business, government, those kind of items, do you think that this is the place where the exciting things are going to take place?
For me, yes. For me, yes, definitely. Southeast Asia is always very high up there in terms of travel, in terms of tourism, business perhaps in certain pockets, right? Like for example in Singapore and in Bangkok, definitely. I do think that there are other countries around the world that do it better and are maybe better positioned at the moment. But Southeast Asia definitely has the potential, right? And in terms of tourism, yes, in this region there's so much to offer here. And what you see as well, what Malaysia is doing next year with the Visit Malaysia year, I think that will be fantastic for Malaysia. I think that will really drive Malaysia forward, moving forward as well for next year. And I do think a lot of the country and a lot of hotels will benefit from that.
Jadi kita coba sedikit ya. Bapak bisa ngobrol bahasa Indonesia?
Boleh.
Oh, so cerita sedikit Bapak tentang dari mana Bapak datang dan membesar dan kulturnya, bagaimana bedanya di antara Indonesia dan juga di Belanda.
Bisa Pak. So ibu saya dari Indonesia. Dari Bandung sebenarnya, dari kota kecil namanya Tasikmalaya.
Itu famous tuh di Malaysia itu. Sebabnya Malaya.
Tasikmalaya, betul. Dan bapak saya dari Belanda. Dan saya tinggal di Indonesia untuk 17 tahun. Saya tinggal di Indonesia. Saya lahir di Bandung.
So SD, SMA, SMP segalanya di situ.
Betul, betul. Tapi sekolahnya sekolah Belanda sama sekolah Amerika, sekolah
so ada bahasa yang ditutur di sekolah itu bahasa Belanda, English of course, dan juga bahasa ibunda.
Bahasa ibu dari ibu saya. Dari ibu saya. So bahasa Indonesianya saya dapat dari ibu saya.
Oh iya. Dan ibu masih menetap di Bandung ya?
Masih sehat dan masih di Bandung.
How do you see the culture of Indonesia and Malaysia shape up? We were once one, and of course, because of our history, we have some sort of shared origins, but we are a little bit diverse. But clearly, this is what my takeaway is. Every time I go to Indonesia, the level of hospitality is really, really awesome. I mean, a simple restaurant at a shopping mall, for instance, it's as simple as that. And I don't think I can get that same of service here in Malaysia. How is that transpiring into culture of service, between these two countries?
There are very distinct similarities and very distinct divergence between Indonesians and Malaysians. If you take a look at the similarities, both people are very, very kind people, are very, very accommodating people, and also are very well spoken in how they interact. I think the biggest difference between Malaysians and Indonesians is that both are hospitable. However, Indonesians are more forthcoming in that sense. So if you take a look, for example, if you go to a hotel and you want to check in Indonesia, they will, out of nature, go in front of their desk and come to you and say like, how can I help you? So you see someone needs assistance with their luggage, they will jump and they will go directly. A Malaysian is also just as friendly and will help you in just the same way. However, they will not go to help you with the luggage unless you ask them.
So in that way, they respect your space.
Exactly. So it depends on how you look at it, because both are very, very friendly. It's just a very different approach towards that added attention.
Let's talk about the numbers of Park Hyatt. How many rooms do you have? What kind of rooms do you have? And what kind of features that people might want to think about when they want to stay at Park Hyatt Kuala Lumpur?
So 252 rooms. Of those 252 rooms, 28 suites. What we'd like to highlight here at Park Hyatt Kuala Lumpur is that when you come up the escalators and into the hotel, we are creating an experience of coming home, of coming into a Malay kampung home. That's why a Malay kampung home traditionally is on stilts, so that's why you go up the escalators and then into a more homey area. Then you come up to our reception where you open up into a porch area, and then you come into our Park Lounge restaurant, which opens up into your kitchen, the kitchen of a traditional Malay house. So we have several different distinctions there. And as well, what we made sure of is that throughout the hotel there are very particular and specific cultural Malaysian aspects in the hotel. So we have batik panels, which are depicting Malaysian batik. Over 50% of our art is local, our local art pieces and locally crafted pieces. And throughout the hotel and in the room there are touches of Malaysian architecture and art.
Let's talk about some of the art that is interesting and you want to share, including this one, I suppose. Yeah.
So yes, so this is a depiction of the wow kites in Malaysia, right? So when they make the wow kites, so this is referring to a wow depiction of the kites translated into the lamps.
So the art pieces are like that, I suppose,
yes.
Where there's a lot of Malaysian elements as well. Is this the same that you carry with other properties of Park Hyatt around the world? So, what I mean is the local blend of the various properties.
I'm not so sure if we would say local blend, but normally every Park Hyatt worldwide will have some local connotations throughout the hotel, but it is normally not as apparent. It is very in the background, and you'll have to
focus
on it and experience, and then you will see that that's the local touches that they have there.
Fantastic. Final words that you want to share before we conclude our conversation?
I would say come and give us a try, right? Come and give us a try. It's definitely worth an experience. We have a lot going for us in terms of rooms, in terms of views, but also in terms of offerings for our F&B, but also our spa, our infinity pool on level 99, as well as our event spaces.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Herman.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was my conversation with Herman Kemp, the General Manager of Park Hyatt Kuala Lumpur. Until then, thanks very much for watching. Merry Christmas and have an excellent, happy New Year.